Hey everybody, welcome to Fab Fit Friday. um, as it turned out, I got a little cold that has been lingering all week, so that it's kind of made me go a little half speed. I have this cough. It's not bad until it gets to be closer to dinner time, but I feel like it's leaving my body, so yay. What I decided to do today, I mean, I am going to wear my dress to Mother's Day, so I do want to, first of all, wish all the moms happy Mother's Day out there. And, I also want to send a prayer to my mom for Mother's Day. This is my first Mother's Day without her, so it's a little bit sad, but I know she's doing much better now. She's in a much better place. So I just want to recognize to everybody, if you've lost your mom, I'm with you there in spirit. And I want to just wish everybody a happy Mother's Day. So today, what I'm going to do, oh, hi, Janie. Did I say hi to you already? Today I have 3 projects. Hey, Mary, welcome. I have 3 projects I want to tackle. And because I had a different plan for today. Today I was going to have a guest on. Hey, Diane, welcome. Oh my goodness, I feel like I have like all my good friends here with me today. This is so much fun. Hey, Pat, welcome, welcome. I was going to have a special guest on this week. But as it turned out, he had a cold too. So next week, I'm having a special guest, Nick Coleman, on. We're both teaching at the ASG Social Escape event in September in Chattanooga. And I want to talk about his class and my class and all the fun that that's going to be. So next week, I will have a special guest. And I was kind of thinking that's what I was going to be doing this week until we decided yesterday to call it because we both didn't feel fabulous and we want to be super sparkly. So I'll have him on next week. So because I canceled that last minute, I'm going to share with you 3 projects that I think they might be interesting for you. The first one is going to be a baby sleep sack. Now, I have a friend who has a baby who does not sleep still. She kicks and she's squirmy and she does not keep her covers on. So she had ordered this baby sack when she was a newborn and she grew out of it. So I made a new one for her. So I want to show you that project and I've already cut it out. It literally will take me 10 minutes to make. And then, I will be putting the pattern for it with some instructions on my website. And if you guys want this pattern for free, it's going to be a $5 pattern, but I'm only telling people who watch me and follow along what the coupon code is going to be. The coupon code is going to be really hard to remember. It's going to be sleepsack. No, that's too hard. Baby, B-A-B-Y. That's going to be the coupon code to get it for free. So if you think this is a cute project and you want to download the pattern, it'll be on, PDF with some instructions. And then also you can follow along with me here. I'm going to show you how to make it. And literally, it's just a nice thing to have or to give to a mom who has a baby that doesn't like to stay covered. Let me just stop and say hi to Victoria. Hi, Victoria. And hi, Tana. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So that's what we're going to do first. And I'm sort of trying to plan this in a way where I'm going to do all the serger stuff first, and then I'm going to whip out the sewing machine. So I'm going to serge the baby sleep sack together, serge the elastic on. Oh, but I'm going to have to sew it together. Well, I'm going to try this, make this as streamlined as possible. I'm also going to need the serger for a small thing from the jeans that I want to fix. And then at the end, while I'm saying goodbye, I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do to replace a drawstring in my husband's pants. So I have 2 husband projects and 1 baby project today. So I think this will be a little bit fun. Very relaxing and also nothing complicated or hard. So sometimes that's nice. Considering I'm spending a lot of the nighttime up coughing, that's a perfect project for me for today. So I'm going to take all the things off. These are the jeans I'm going to be fixing. I think if you look really close, you can see there was a boo-boo in there, and I'll show you the up-close version of it in a minute. Just going to put those down here. This is my drawstring project, which I may or may not do with you because that's kind of dumb. But basically, let's look at this. I'm going to switch my view here. Whoa, let me get this so it's a little less bright maybe. All right, so let me show you the pattern. Now the pattern is just a simple like bucket. And basically I made this based on the waist. Now this could be, you can do this two ways. Sometimes if you wanted to stick the baby's arms in there as well, then it could be like across the shoulders, or you can wear it underneath the arms, depending on how you want to wear this. So this is kind of long if you're wearing it under the arm. So it, you may be able to shorten it. And I made it for like a 1-year-old size. Okay. And then what I did was I cut out 2 pieces of knit. So you can see I've got this nice kind of cool, it's like a, what do I want to say? A balloon animal fabric I found. It's soft knit balloon animals. And I'm making another one now for my sister's friend who has a baby that doesn't like to keep their covers on. So I cut out two things of this, 2 layers. I'm going to put them right sides together. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin them around. And again, when I do this as a pattern in my online store, I will be grading it. So there's like a newborn size, maybe a size in between this, and then this bigger size. So basically what I'm going to do here is I'm literally just going to clip the layers together. And like this. So maybe I'll start at the top and do both the tops first. I feel like this is cool because I've already tested the theory. Hey Martina, welcome. I'm making a baby sleep sack. So it's the kind of thing you can stick your baby in or your grandchild in. And then when they're sleeping, they can't kick it off. So you could make this out of fleece. You could make this out of, something warm and cozy, or something lighter weight for the spring and fall. This is a lightweight knit. And I do know, I keep getting cute pictures of my friend's baby wearing it. So I know she's really using it and she really likes it. So it kind of inspired me. And then when I showed the picture to my sister, she's like, oh, my friend would like one. So you can see here, I've just pinned it together. I'm going to get my serger. Okay. And we're just going to serge this around. Let me make a better view. Let me see if I can get a little bit of a better view. First, let me plug it in. So it's pouring rain here today, but I did manage to get out and hike before the rain came, which made me kind of happy. All right, so again, this would be a great gift for a newborn baby or, an older baby. Oops. All right. So basically now I am just going to sew this together like this. And I'm just going to go around the edges. I'm going to leave the top part open. So this part is going to stay open. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here. And I'm going to get that fabric in there. And I'm just going to stitch around. And I'm just using like a 4-thread, you know, stitch. Now, when you're going around the corner, my tip for that is to worry about what's happening over here, not what's happening over here. So as I want to go around the corner, I'm kind of, you know, allowing it to feed in, and then I'm going to lift and let it relax. So again, as I come around the corner, it's almost like I'm feeding more here to go around this curve, and then let it relax. And then, you know, maybe a couple times let it relax. That's the way to get around a corner easily without, you know, flying off the fabric. When I first learned to serge, I couldn't stay on the fabric when I was going around curves. So stopping and letting it relax a little bit, and also feeding it in and worrying about holding it over here, is a good tip. All right, so now I have my baby sack assembled, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to push this back out of the way for now, and let's look at this. All right, so see, basically all I did was sew around the edges like this. I'm going to turn it right side out, and then I use some of my cut and sew elastic. So if you guys know, I have this, you know, I sell it in my online store, but I really like it because I can make it any width I want. So it comes in a 2-inch width like this, and it's got grooves, and you can cut along the grooves and make it any width you want. So what I did already was I made myself a generous 1/4 inch like this, okay? And I don't want this to be super, you know, super snug. You know, I don't want this to be anything that can be strangling or, you know, anything that can be dangerous. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make the elastic so it's, you know, just a couple inches shorter than the opening. Okay, so if my opening is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is a 24-inch chest, like for a baby under the arms, right? I'm going to cut this elastic to be like 22, and then I'll have a little overlap to sew it together. So let me just measure this out and make it, I'm going to make it 22 inches. So there's 10, 20, 22 is right here. I'm going to cut it. All right, so this is the elastic I need. And of course, now I need to sew my elastic into a circle. But you know what? Yeah, I need to sew into a circle. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my sewing machine here really quick. And I am going to just plug that in. Okay. You know, even if I were using wider elastic, I do like to use my sewing machine to sew elastic together into a circle because it just lays flatter. So I can see that this might already be a thing because I've got my, I'm gonna fold it in half so it's not twisted. That's the important thing. You want to make sure that we're not twisting, right? Like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my, this is my, one of my labels from my shipping. And I'm going to put one pin to hold it together like this. Okay, and then I'm going to put the paper underneath it so it's protecting it from falling or getting pushed into the big, you know, the big zigzag plate here. And then I'm just going to sew it together. So with the paper underneath, I'm going to put it lengthwise like this. And I'm going to choose my triple zigzag. I'm going to make sure my needle is in both layers before I take the pin out, like this. Okay, and then I'm just going to choose my triple zigzag. And I'm just going to triple zigzag this. Let's see what's happening here. I think using the open toe foot's not a good idea because nothing's pressing against the elastic, but I can get it firmly attached here. There we go. All right. Okay, so you can see I've got it firmly attached, and I can take this paper off now. Okay. All right, so now I'm just going to drop my machine on the floor. And I'm going to get my little baby sack back. And you know what we're going to do here? We're going to find the quarters, right? And then I'm going to pin the elastic to the top edge of this on the wrong side. So what I'm going to do very simply is I'm going to take my elastic. I'm going to find the quarters. So I'm going to put one clip here where the join is. Then I'm going to find the other half, which would be right here. And then I'm going to, oops, well, that was not brilliant. Hold on. My clip didn't stay attached. So here's halfway is right here. So again, I'm going to put that clip. And then I'm going to match my clips to find the other two quarters. One there. And this is not twisted, right? No, it's not. Okay. Okay. I'm going to put one right here. All right, so now I've got that in quarters. So the next thing I'm going to do is find the quarters on this. Now I only have to do 2 clips because if I match the 2 side seams and then go out like this, there's 1 quarter. And here's the other one. Okay, so I've got my middles and I've got my sides. So I'm going to take my elastic and I want to make sure as I pin it in here I keep it from twisting. So basically now I'm just going to put the elastic here in the center on this side. Then I'm going to come over to my side seam area and I'm going to put the elastic here like this. So see, I've got it like that. I'm going to put one there. And then I'm going to come over to this one. And again, as I go along, I'm just making sure I'm not twisting the elastic. Now my first version of this, I did a casing where I used the flat lock stitch to make like a casing, and I found that it was really, and this is going to sound stupid, but I just found it annoying to get the elastic to lay in there without curling or twisting. And every time I thought I got it perfect, I went to sew it together and then I felt a twist. So if you put your elastic in like this, then what happens is there's zero chance it's going to twist, and you can see that it's not twisting while it's still open. So you can see now I've got my elastic in there, you know, pinned on, and it's not twisted. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to serge it on. So I'm going to pull my serger back over. Like this. Okay, and so this is like putting on a, you know, elastic waist on anything, right? I'm going to start in front of one of my pins, or my clips, and I'm just going to get it in there, and I'm going to make sure it's, you know, lining up with the edge of the knife, and that I can sink my needles into the elastic, and I'm going to put my presser foot down like that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to take out the first clip and I'm going to serge, and I'm stretching the fabric to, I'm stretching the elastic to match the fabric. I'm trying not to stretch the fabric as well. And so now I'm just going to serge this on. And you're going to see it's going to make a really neat little elastic casing. Or serge, it's not a casing really, we're just serging it on. Oh, did I lose my fabric here? Oh, I can't tell if I did. We'll keep going. If I have to fix it, I'll fix it. Sometimes when you're working with really thin elastic, it's always a good idea to see the edge of your fabric. See, I almost lost it. I did. I'll go back and fix it, but I'll show you. So if I see the edge of the fabric, I'll know I'm not losing it. Or not catching the fabric, I mean. Yeah. Okay. All right, now as I come to my start, I just want to make sure that I'm catching everything. Why did I think this would be easier? Oh my goodness. This fabric is pulling away from, oops. All right, so when I finish, I'm going to put my knife down so I can overlap my start point, And then I'm going to pick up, move everything away from under the needles, put the presser foot down and chain off so I don't just veer off the edge. And that makes a little bit of a neater stop and start. Okay, so you can see for the most part that worked out really well. And again, the goal here is just to make a loose elastic that you can put on the baby without, worrying about any sort of string, you don't want it to be too tight. I didn't mess up right here. So see right here, I did miss it. So to fix that, what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to take my seam ripper, back this up for a second, make it a little bit lighter. Okay. All right, so, and I'm just gonna cut the looper threads a little bit on each side so I can make it a little bit of a bigger hole here. I just want a little bit more length from where I missed it. So I'm just gonna pull it apart just a little bit like this. And then I'm gonna do a little bit on this side too from where it's falling off. And then I'm just gonna serge it back on. Of course, I'm working with black and black. All right, so I think what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to, I'm going to bring in my extra light source. Hold on one second. All right, so basically I just want to get that out. And if I break, see, I can't see there. That's like, there's no way I can see right there. So right here from the fabric side, I'm just going to pick it out where I can see the stitches. So this is like a 5-minute project or a 10-minute project if you don't make a boo-boo like this. Okay, so see, I just very nicely got that to come out. Okay. All right, I've got that all nice and loose now. So now I'm just going to sew it back. And because we're just working with this small area, I'm just going to put one clip in the middle, like this. And I'm just going to fix that little boo-boo. So I'm going to start somewhere before I started taking it out. And then I'm going to start serging again. And I'm literally just going to stretch it to match. And I just want to make sure I catch this fabric right here. Like this. The thing about this is it's such skinny elastic that if I screw it up twice, I'd probably wreck it. So hopefully it's on there now. And I think it's good. All right. All right, so now it's fixed. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm just going to push my serger back. Did I put you all to sleep? I know this isn't my usual kind of project, but I just figured I would share these things with you. And I think, you know, this could be a fun project. So you can see this really isn't pulling it in that much. It's just a little bit, right? So to finish this, I'm going to flip this under. And again, I'm just going to put clips. So I'm folding it down on itself. And when you use a thin elastic like this, and you're not really, there's not a big difference between the width of the elastic, or I'm sorry, the length of the elastic and the length of the opening, it's very easy to just It's very easy to just turn this under and clip it. So I'm just going to clip this. This would make a nice elastic, like if you were making a slip or a, you know, a lightweight skirt. This would be a nice lightweight elastic for something like that. So, oh, Mary's ensuring me you're still here. I'm glad you're still here. I think the jean blowout project will be a little more interesting than this one. This is just a cute project. I thought it'd be fun to share. My friend who has the baby doesn't put her baby on social media, or I would show you the pictures. It's very cute. Oops. Okay. All right, so see, now I've got that turned under, right? You're prepping fabric to make 50 pillowcases. Wow. What are you going to do with all those pillowcases, Pat? Ugh. Okay, so I'm going to switch to black thread because obviously white won't look fabulous. Okay, I'm going to just plug in my sewing machine here. And let me see what I have in here. I have Mary's dough raising. I love that Mary is dough raising. So I don't know if you know this, but my oven's been broken for a long time. And my husband is looking for a new oven, well, a used new oven that's the same model as our old oven. And the reason why he's doing that is because he bought a bunch of parts trying to fix the old oven, and that the things he bought did not fix it. So if we get an oven with the same brand model oven, then he can take the new heating elements for the broiler and the oven itself and, you know, put those in there if our new used oven breaks. Because I haven't had an oven and I have not baked anything in such a long time. All right, I'm going to put this foot on, and the reason why I'm putting this foot on, for two reasons. It has a flange on the side to hold me even, and it's got a little width to it, so I can do, oh, is that going to work with a zigzag though? No, I can't use this foot. I lost my all-purpose straight foot for this machine, so I'm gonna have to buy another one because that's oh, I know what I can do. Silly me. I am gonna put on my walking foot, and that way I can do everything I'm gonna need to do for the rest of Fab Fit Friday with this one foot. Okay, now I'm going to put black thread in. I'm going to put black thread in. Okay. Okay. I'm going to thread my machine. I think we've discussed the fact that my needle threader is still broken. I might bring this in to get a love up, and if I do, I'm going to have them fix the needle threader because I miss it. All right, so now I've got black bobbin, right? I think I did that. Yes, I did. Okay, so now to sew this on, what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to start someplace. I'm going to sew from the wrong side so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to use the triple zigzag. I'm going to make it a little bit looser. I'm going to do like a 1.2, and then I'm just going to stitch along like this. And as I stitch along, I'm going to make sure that there isn't extra fabric wrapped around the elastic. And I'm just going to go Oh, something is stuck here. Okay. All right, so part of my problem I think I'm having is that I'm not getting good contact with the front feed dogs. It's literally so skinny. I also think my machine needs a day at the spa. I'm definitely going to bring it in and get it serviced because I think it definitely needs some loving up. Okay. Oh no. You know, I think I'm stretching. Oh my good. All right, I'm going to just stop it right now. All right. So my machine is not feeding the fabric. And what's happening is I'm stretching it from behind and look what's happening. Right? Like that's because I'm pulling it from behind to feed it through because it's not feeding through for some reason. So I'm going to figure out how to finish that better later. Because that's not working. But basically, I just want to show you here. Look how cute that will be when it's done. Like pretend I finished sewing it. Matter of fact, I'm going to cut it off anyway. So what I'm going to do is let me just finish sewing it with a straight stitch so you can see. Because I'm going to cut it off. I'm not going to try to take it out when I fix it later. So I'm going to switch to a straight stitch. This machine, I think, definitely is in dire need of a spa day. And I just don't want to bring it in because I always need it. So let me just do a straight stitch here. See, look it's not going. See, it's not moving. I don't understand why it's not feeding. Oh, maybe that's why. Oh, I didn't have my foot on right. The little feed dog thing wasn't, it wasn't, I didn't have my dual feed attached on the top. So see, now it's working. All right, I'm going to cut it off and I'll just do it over later. Oh my goodness. All right, so here, this is a perfect example of if something's not working, don't keep going. And I know that seems silly coming from someone like me, but I thought it wasn't going through because see, it was. And then it wasn't, and I was pulling it from behind to get it to feed through the machine. Well, if my foot had been, if the dual feed on the back of this foot had been engaged, then you can see I wouldn't have had a problem. All right. So now let's look at this. So I think you can see from this side, the side I didn't stretch out, how cute that will be. You know, just a little bit of a stretchy top. And what you do is you put the baby in there and then it keeps, you know, you put it on like, it's basically like a sack. You put it on and then the baby can't kick off the extra blanket because it's sewn together in a sack. So I will be putting this, you know, in my online store. If you want to get this pattern for free, since you just watched me F it up, use the coupon code BABY. And you can get, it'll be $5 off. So I'm going to charge $5 for it once it's together and it's a pattern. But for watching the tutorial to make the cute little baby thing, that is the first project. Now the second project, and I'm just going to push my machines back a little farther so I can show you something here. My husband blew out his jeans. And when I say he blew them out, he blew them out. And before I show you, I'm just going to check and see what Pat's saying here. A dear friend's daughter teaches at a high-risk elementary school. I make the case that she buys the pillows and the kids go home with a pillow to lean on while reading. And we make enough for 2 classes. It's the same class that I use your winter hats for. Oh, I love that idea, Pat. That's such a great idea. That is very nice. I love hearing about projects like that. I just got another big box of comfort hearts from somebody, and it just, I don't know, it's just such a cool thing when you're sewing for somebody else, you know, for some sort of, you know, reason like that. That's very, very sweet. Okay. Now, I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to make you be able to see this. My husband only has like 2 or 3 pairs of jeans that he likes. So what I want you to notice here is he ripped it from up here all the way down, down here, down here, down here to here. It was ripped all that way. And to fix it, the first time what I did, and this was also on when he blew them out and he asked me to fix it. It was on Easter, so I didn't have the wherewithal to turn my camera on to show you how I was fixing it, so I'm going to show you now. And you can see what I did here was, first, let me see if I can get it so you can see it. I want you to be able to really see. You guys see that? So I use strips of heavyweight fusible interfacing to fuse the tear shut. I cut all of the loose threads off, like all of the torn threads. I cut them all off and I fused. And then what I want you to notice, and you can see this pretty good, I think, I didn't use a triple zigzag. I just kept straight stitching up and down to mend it. And in most cases, it worked really, really well. Like you can see, I can pull on this with all of my strength, and you can see it's not, you know, it's not ripping. But up near the zipper, I don't think I got it well enough, and it did break apart. So I want to show you that. Let me turn it right side out again. So everything held. And you can see I can pull it from here too. Like, see, like I can really yank it. This is not coming out. But what did come out was over here by the zipper, because it tore right on the seam allowance for the front fly, you know, where all that bulk is. So there wasn't enough to hold it from tearing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to redo what I did before. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of these white threads. I'm just going to trim them off because I don't want those to show. So I'm just going to make a nice clean edge, or as clean of an edge as I can. And I'm going to trim away these darker threads too, like where it ripped. And this time what I'm going to use is, I have another pair of his jeans. These jeans are a very lightweight, soft denim. It doesn't match, but I don't care, because all I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut off a strip like this. I'm literally just cutting a strip that I think I need. And I'm going to cut it to be long enough to stabilize this whole area right here. So I'm going to just, you know, cut it long enough. Okay. And I was going to finish the edges on the serger, but I'm not going to do that, because I think what I'm going to do is, after I finish darning it, I will trim it close. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my jeans back inside out. Oh, actually, before I even do that, I'm going to bring my sewing machine back. And what I'm going to do before I put that denim behind to stabilize, I am literally going to put this under here. And it's like I want to catch it shut while I can see it, if that makes sense. So I don't want to put the denim or interfacing or anything I was going to use behind it until I've closed the hole a little bit. And this row of stitching is literally just going to be to, oops. Oh, good. Now my foot fell off. Hold on one second. I got to stick this back on. Okay, so I'm just going to put it right here. And I'm going to use my triple zigzag. And this is just to hold the, I'm just doing this to hold the tear closed. So I'm literally just zigzagging across to hold it closed. And you can see I can't get really close, but you can see, whoops, see it's starting to tear again. I don't want to pull on it, but I think that's going to be okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this plate off, and I'm going to take this foot off because I need to get really close. Oh, hi, Julie. You keep a spare pair around because you need to use it for interfacing too. Yeah, I mean, the interfacing idea was really good for most of the jean, but then where it was really stressed and where I couldn't really darn in there, you know, enough because it was too close to the zipper. Look, my screw fell in here. I'm going to do like that game operation to get it back out. Maybe I should just put the other thing on first here. Hold on. Okay. Okay. Now it can't fall through. All right, let me put this on and make sure I engage. What is the thing I learned today, which I should have already known already? We want to make sure when I put this foot on, I am making sure the walking foot that's built into the foot is actually engaged. Otherwise, the fabric does not feed. Now, having said that, I mean, my machine also needs a service, so that's why I didn't think it was the way I had the foot on. I thought it just wasn't contacting enough with the thing, but I think I've got the walking foot thing attached. Okay. All right, so now that I've done that, excuse me, I'm going to take my little scrap of denim and instead of fusing, I'm going to use this KK2000. I love this KK2000 because it's not, it doesn't have noxious fumes. I'm going to spray that area, and I can see that it's closed. And then I'm going to put this denim right here. And I don't think I'm going to need this part. I mean, maybe I'll go up a little bit. I'm going to cut this little part off here. Okay, and I'm going to look from the right side so we can see that, you know, that's pretty closed there. Okay, so that's the area I need to worry about. And you can see how well this KK2000 sticks on. Like, I can't pull it away, you know, very easily. So I've got that there like that now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start stitching it. Now, this is where you can get creative in your what do I want to say? Your repair job, because I'm going to go ahead and get myself some of my blue, you know, different blue colors here. Because in order to make it look, you know, less obvious, if you use a few different shades of denim, I mean, a few different shades of thread, right? I've got a few different shades here. It'll blend in nicer with what's going on in the fabric. So I've got 3 different blues. So I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to take the black out, and I'm going to put this blue in there. we'll start with this one. And then as I do it with this color, I'm going to switch to a couple other colors. And I think what that does is it's almost like painting. So I'm literally going to I'll start up here, like above where it's stuck. And just to show you and keep track of, you know, where it's falling apart. Do I have my chalk? I don't have my chalk. Oh, yes, I do. Hold on. All right, so I just want to... This is where it's ripping. Right here, I'm going to put a white line. So see where this white line is? That's where it's ripping. So I am going to, you know, start stitching. And I'm going to stitch on the outside of the tear, right? So I'm like outside of the tear. And I'm going to go well beyond it. Then I'm going to go back. So now what I've done is I've attached the fabric to the fabric about 1/8 of an inch away from the tear. Then I'm going to come back in and I'm literally going to darn this going up and down. Okay. And I'm just going to keep going. Oops. And I'm really going to work in this area where the white is. I'm stitching all the way onto the crotch seam. And if you're wondering, I have a denim needle in my machine, so it can handle this. You can see it's almost like I'm painting. So let's look and see what I have now. So see how I've kind of filled in some of that? This color is working pretty well, so I'm going to do a little bit more with this color. Then I'm going to switch to a different color. I'm going to go down here and do a little bit more. Now these jeans are so big, you can see them. You want to make sure, obviously, you're not stitching the jeans together in places you don't mean to do, but basically, I'm going to just do a little bit more down here. And you want to try to stay with the grain of the fabric, right? To make it blend in. So you can see now, okay, I can see right here, there's still a little bit that I need to attach. So I'm going to go right there. First, I'm going to go on the outside of it. You can see this is where I have a hard time because it's like on the bulk of the zipper and the whole thing there. And then I'm going to go on the other side of it. See, I closed that. So you see that looks pretty good, right? I mean, for as big of a blow up as it was, I mean, this is pretty good. My husband's pretty funny about his jeans. Like, you know, he likes certain things. And this is like one of his favorite pairs, so I want him to be able to wear them as long as he can. All right, now I'm doing a little bit of a brighter blue. I'm just gonna mix that thread in with the other thread. And actually, before I sew any more, let's look at the underside and make sure nothing bad happened. Like, let's make sure that denim strip didn't fold on itself, or, I mean, I'm hoping it didn't do it. I think it was really glued on, but let's just double check. Okay. So let's look and see. So here we can see all of our work because it's all right there. See how that really blends in on the inside too? So after I'm done, let me show you what I'm going to do. All right, let me just... I'm going to do a little bit more. Just to fill it in a little bit more, and then I'm just gonna make sure it's nothing is, yeah, everything looks good in there. I want to try to cover some of the white that's still showing. Let's see if I like the way that's looking. Yeah, I don't know if this bright color is actually, I think this bright color might be a little bit too bright, so I'm going to stop using that color. I have one more blue I want to use, and it's almost like a variegated blue. This is the color that I'm going to use to sew a straight line about a ½ inch away from the tear, and then I can cut away the rest from behind, close to the edge. Oh, Julie puts two colors in the needle at the same time. That's a good idea, Julie. All right, so this one is almost a variegated. So I think this will be actually a good match for this. It's a blendable. This is a silky blendable color. So this has actually got a couple colors twisted in. So I think this will be the good finishing one. So basically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to thread this needle. Oh, and this thread's a little bit thicker, so I'm going to use my Thread Magic to make it easier to thread. I'm just going to stick it in here like this. Oh, actually I'm going to, well, it doesn't matter actually. Let me just stick it in, put the cover back on, and pull it through. And then that will make it easier for me to thread this through the needle. That's the one thing about a denim needle I don't like. The eye of the needle is not very large, like a top stitch needle has or a Metafill needle has. So that's the only downside when you're using a denim needle. All right, so I can feel that scrap of fabric that I put there. I'm just going to go ahead and I am going to stitch right here, just one straight stitch down like this. All right, and that one stitch is going to be where I'm going to let me show you this part. So where I stitched that, that's where I'm going to cut it really close. And I'm going to use my wonderful LDH scissors that Pat gave me that has J. Stern inscribed on the blade. So I am literally going to just come in here and I'm going to just trim this really, really close. And that will keep it from becoming a total mess. I mean, it might fray a little bit, but I don't care. It's inside. And then this side, I probably should have clean finished this side. I can still go in with my serger and clean finish this side maybe, because my issue with this is I can't really sew it down because that's where the hard zipper and everything is. So let me just see. Yeah, that's over there. So, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fray check that. I'll just fray check it so it doesn't fray. And I'm just going to leave it there. Maybe I'll trim it a little bit closer. And then I'm going to fray check it on this side. Just to keep it from getting crazy. But I do love these scissors for all of these trimming things. These have become my new favorite scissors. And partially I love them because I have washerwoman hands, German washerwoman hands, except mine are Polish washerwoman hands. I have big hands, and see how nice those are? I love them. Okay. All right, so that takes care of that little issue. So now I'm trimmed down, and I'm excited to use this colored thread because I feel like this is the best match of all. So I'm just going to do a little bit more, and then I'm going to be done with this. Down here. All right, so I'm going to do some oh, you know what I could do? The other thing I could do, oh, actually that color might, well, I guess it's okay. It's a little bit light. I thought it was going to blend better than that, but I think basically, you know, I can keep playing with this, but you can see now there's no way that's going to break apart now. So I'm going to tell him he got the deluxe job this time. See how nice that is? That's going nowhere. So we're going to say this is all fixed. So I don't know. I hope this wasn't like a super boring Fab Fit Friday. I wanted to get these things done, and also I wanted to spend some time with you doing something that would be, I'm hoping, interesting. Like I said, I'm going to be grading the baby sack into, grading the baby sack into 3 sizes, and I will have that on my thing. Again, I'm not going to publish it anywhere or put it anywhere in print. The coupon code to get that for free is BABY, B-A-B-Y. And that's the last thing. Now, oh, there's one other thing I just want to show you here. These, this is so funny. These are my husband's pants. I bought them for hiking, I don't know, 10 years ago. He still loves them. They're from EMS, and he hasn't worn them for a really long time because the drawstring came out. So I do have a tip. What I do? I'm going to use this white drawstring to put it through, because you know how when you put a drawstring through, and as you're putting it through, it gathers up, and sometimes it could get twisted. Oh, Tana just asked me if I could use free motion, and that's when I stopped and said, oh, I could use free motion to do that. So like if you're good with free motion, set your machine up for free motion and use that instead of the feed dogs and the straight stitch. Yes, Tana, gold star. And if I didn't want to, I mean, I don't want to spend, you know, another 10 minutes switching my machine over to free motion. Otherwise I would show you. But basically I'm threading my needle here. And the reason why I'm using this, the reason why I'm using this white cord, I'm not going to leave this white cord in here, but as you know, and I'll show you what I mean as I do it. So if you have to replace a drawstring, use like a leader string. This is going to be my temporary string. So I'm going to push this through. And the reason why I'm doing this is because as you push it through, what happens is the waist starts to gather up like this, right? And then a lot of times what can happen is you could end up with a twisted waistband, and it's really annoying to get that to lay flat. So I found some nice 1/2-inch black twill tape that I also have to sew together because I don't have one piece that's long enough. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as my leader, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So let me just get this in here. Oh, and Pat says no one should be close enough to repair to check the thread color. Oh, that's true. But my husband is my biggest fan and critic. He'll tell me if he thinks something doesn't look right. So I just want to make sure it looks nice for him to look at. Okay, so I've got this now. Okay, here's my drawstring. And here's what I want to show you. I am going to allow this to lay flat. So it's nice and flat like this. So see how it's nice and flat? I'm going to push myself over out of the way for now. You don't need to see me right now. Just so you can see the whole thing. All right, so see how this is laying nice and flat? This is the cord I'm going to use, and like I said, it's not, I don't think it's long enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this back in, and I'm going to sew this really quick. So I have two pieces. I'm going to sew them together, so that'll be in the middle somewhere. So let me just... So I'm literally going to just sew these together like this. And use this paper. And I'm not changing back to a zigzag. I'm just going to sew it like this. And I don't think it matters that I'm using blue thread either. All right, so I'm literally just gonna I'm just scribbling them together. I really don't care if it's pretty because no one's ever gonna see this. I just want to make it long enough. All right, that's probably gonna be together for life now. So see, I just made like a little design there. Okay, see, there's no way that's gonna go anywhere. And what I'm gonna do is so I've got this laying flat. I've already got a drawstring in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm literally gonna just tie this end to this end. Well, let me do this end because this end doesn't have a knot. Right over left, left over right to make a square knot. Okay. And then as I pull this through now, I'm going to pull it through so it's not, how do I want to put it? Like I'm going to pull it through so it stays flat, and that's going to allow me to get this in here. So once it's in, it will lay flat, and I'll show you what I mean. So I'm just going to advance it like this to get it in there. I got to get it through this little hole. This side is small. So as we pull it through now, and as it starts to go through, I'm going to keep it flat because I don't want it to twist. So see, it's coming like this. And then I'm going to keep, you know, pulling on the white, but as I pull it through, I'm going to make sure it's laying flat here, right? Because this way, I don't have to worry about it twisting. Oh, excuse me. No, I want to keep pulling it this way. And again, as I pull, I'm going to keep it laying flat. So I'm using the white as a leader to keep it nice and flat. And then he'll have this nice drawstring. It's not twisted. Oh my God, I got a ton. Well, it might be too long now, but basically, all right, so now you can see how it's laying nice and flat. There's no twist. When you work with these, you know, heavier or wider waist drawstrings, if they get a twist in them, I don't know, I hate that. So anyway, so that is my drawstring project. So I've done all I've done all 3 projects that I wanted to do with you guys today. Cutting them on the diagonal. And then just going to tie little knots at the bottom. Actually, see, this drawstring is on the inside. So if I tie a knot, that might be annoying. So maybe what I'll do is I'm just going to fray check these ends. I think that's what I'm going to do to finish. So that's what I'm going to do. Oh, okay. So that's my whole report. I did everything, and now my husband can have his vintage hiking pants back. Let me switch over to here. All right, let me just put this up and see. Pat's asking, is there a way to shop your Amazon storefront without going back to your YouTube videos? Do you have an affiliate? Do you have other affiliate links? Okay, so good news, Pat. I have figured out how to have an Amazon storefront. What I didn't realize was when I was doing the Amazon affiliate links, that's a different program than being an Amazon influencer and having a storefront. So I do have a storefront, and there are some things in there. I will continue to add everything that I have from all of my what do I want to say? All of my cool tools, for example. And I don't know, how do I find my Amazon storefront? Let's see if I put in J Stern Designs. I'm looking for it right now to see. I haven't gone there in such a long time. Let me see if I put J Stern Designs, if it comes up. No, it does not. All right, so I have to figure out how to put a link to my Amazon store. Oh, how about if I put J Stern Designs storefront? See, I have all these things I have working in progress, and nothing is. Let me see if that shows up. Oops. Yeah, nope. No, it does not. All right, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. How to. Oh, because I'm not signed in. All right, whatever. I will figure it out, and I will put a link to it in this, in this video, to my storefront, and I will figure that out. But basically, I do have a storefront, and I am trying to make it easier for you to find the things that I like that are on Amazon. So I will be doing that, and then you won't have to go back and forth to my YouTube videos to find the cool tool you're looking for. So thank you for asking me about that. It started, it's there. I just need to find the link for it and share it. So there you go. All right. I think the rest of today is going to be no talking, because like as we go on in the day, my throat starts to get ooky. So but I fully feel like I'll be back in full speed next week. Next week I'm having Nick Coman as a special guest for Fab Fit Friday. And then on Friday and Saturday, I am teaching the Master Alterations class with Shorin at her shop. So if anyone's interested in Master Alterations Workshop, that is over on my online store. There are some spaces left. So that's my report for now. My very cool tool that I didn't put up today will be up this week. I had some installation problems. So once I get it installed, I will share it with you. So I'm hoping that will be on Monday. So that's why I didn't do my cool tool last week. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me. I hope you guys have a wonderful Mother's Day and have a wonderful weekend. And I will see you again next week with Nick Coleman, my special guest. All right. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.